Welcome back, everyone. We next have a panel from PhilipCapital comprising Ms. Lisa Lee, Executive Director, Mr. Se Huan Kiet, IT Director of FinTech, and Ms. Kathleen Xia, Head of Human Capital from PhilipCapital. They will be sharing more about PhilipCapital's core focus, business areas, and the type of talent they are looking for to support their businesses' growth trajectory. During the session, please feel free to put any questions you have for the panel in the Q&A window, and you can do that by clicking on the Q&A button at the bottom of your navigation bar, and we'll address these live during the session. Without further ado, I'll now hand the time over to Lisa and her team.
Hi. Where's our moderator?
Florence, Lini here. I will need you to enable my video because I will actually be the moderator. So my video cannot be switched on yet. All right. Okay. Are you guys able to share to see my shared screen, or should I share again?
Yes, you need to share screen again, please.
Okay, I will do that. Okay, are you guys able to see my shared screen?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the segment on Career with PhilipCapital. My name is Lini, and today we would be having a casual chat with my panel of esteemed speakers. It will not be in a presentation format, but rather in a very casual chat session where they can share with you more about the culture, the environment, the working environment of PhilipCapital, okay, rather than in a presentation format. So let me formally introduce my speakers again. I have Lisa, Executive Director. She started her finance career in UOB actually, and she joined PhilipCapital Group in 1997. Okay, today Lisa oversees wealth product distributions through omni-channels such as Investor Center, Client Experience Unit, and digital channels. Next, I also have Huan Kiet. Okay, before joining Philip, Huan Kiet was previously based in United States. Okay, where he was working with Intel. Huan Kiet has over 16 years of experience in finance and technology industries. Next, of course, I have Kathleen. She's our head of human capital, and besides experience in finance, she also has ample experience across various industries, including telco, public transport, and cyber security. All right, let's dive right in to our today's topic, which is innovative and entrepreneurial work environment. Okay, wow, I have two ladies and one gentleman or one gentleman to share with us, right? Why these two particular words? Before that, for those who are new to PhilipCapital, right? You may not know who we are, right? We are actually an integrated Asian financial house with a global reach of 15 countries. Okay, many of you probably know us as Poems, yeah, the stockbroker where you buy and sell shares. Yes, indeed. Today we can trade over 26 stock exchanges using our Poems platform. But other than stockbroking, we are also many more. Yeah, we have over 2,000 funds or unit trusts for our customers. We work with more than 35 insurance partners, and all in all, we have over 40,000 of financial products. Okay, just to give you a little background of who PhilipCapital is. Okay, now back to our first topic. Okay, sorry. Okay, innovative and entrepreneurial work environment. Perhaps I can invite my speakers to share a little bit more on this topic.
Since it coincides with the FinTech Festival, okay, Huang Kiat go first. Because Huang Kiat choose the word innovative, I choose the word entrepreneur. Okay, Huang Kiat, you go first.
Okay, I always believe that innovation and being an entrepreneur goes hand in hand. Because if you want to be innovative, you must be allowed to make mistakes. To illustrate that, I use a story. I use a story that, I joined Philip. After 3 months, I was presenting to the chairman, our chairman, Mr. Lim Hua Min. Okay, so I did a lot of stuff, right? So my project, because I'm trying to also understand how our business model can fit into the blockchain or distributed ledger technology. As a fintech director, I'm supposed to drive this. So I do a lot of things. And one of the things I do was to create a blockchain game. And then chairman looked at me and said, okay, why do you do that? I say, because I need to understand the technology. Then he said, so will all this be used in actual production or actual business? Then actually, I was quite honest. I said, actually, no. It's really for us to understand this. And he said, then he think about it and he said, yeah, okay, I understand. You just need to try. Sometimes you just need to try out new technology in order to understand them, in order to use them. So that actually tells me the top management actually has this attitude, right? To say that you can, as long as you can explain yourself, right, in the right way, they are willing, there's this willingness for you to try. Because as you know, right, Mr. Lim, our chairman, created Philip, right, also as an entrepreneur many years ago. So it's reflected within the organization actually. And in fact, the organization to me, why is it can be innovative and entrepreneurial is because it is quite a flat organization. If you really think, right, my managing director, who is Luke, okay, to my guys who is doing the programming within the innovation team, there's only 2 or 3 layers within this. And there's always this meeting where the top management actually can have exposure to the lower tier, or so-called the junior, mid-level engineer, to hear what they have to say. I mean, that to me is a very good environment to foster an innovative culture, right? Maybe back to you, Lisa.
Okay. I just want to add on a little bit on what Huang Kiat has mentioned. I always remember one of the statements we always use, or the older bosses or even the founder, chairman always use, is give me the man, I define the role. And I thought that this is really a very different way of looking at things, because most companies that you go, people will give you the job description and tell you this is the boundaries that you should be operating in. And I guess we take a bit different approach. We still have a job description, but I guess we look at it is very much a human being is like an inverted donut. I define the core. Then really it's really up to each one of us. How can we expand our horizon from there? So I guess what Huang Kiat mentioned, the organizational structure is quite important. So only when you have a flat structure without much hierarchy, then as we go more network, then people can just like maneuver, move around, and then trying to deliver things with passion, or at least without the pressure of number KPI. We are not saying that KPI is not important. There's always cause and effect. So for Philip, I guess for us, we focus a lot on the drivers, because the drivers will give you the results. So I guess the approach is a bit different from other companies. So in case if you're wondering, we are too laissez-faire, do not have to be worried about that, because we have this, whatever we do, there's this code of conduct or value system or core value. So we are guided by some of this core value system. And then from there, we are able to, articulate and express ourselves. And there's a lot of flexibility, like what Huang Kiat said, you are able to try a lot of things as long you are abiding with the value system. And of course, in financial industry, as long you are not meant to cheat customers, as long you are honest and whatever. So I don't think you'll be too wrong on that. Yeah, Kitli, anything to add?
Sure. I think hearing from my colleagues, Huang Kiat and Lisa, I think what's important is that we see PhilipCapital as a network ecosystem, where internal networking helps us to break down the departmental silos, so that we can collaborate with one another across the different functions. I think this is also how this is also seen in how we promote the networking and sharing in our talent development program, through breakfast and learn sessions that we conduct with our emerging leaders. We have a step-up program that is meant to develop our young talents and our leaders. Okay, and given our flat structure, it is we can see that our senior leaders are actually pretty hands-on. That's what Juan Kiat has shared. And they look out for opportunities where we can collaborate across different functions, and are willing to pilot new ideas, new concepts, and how they can be applied elsewhere in the organization. Because we are able to mobilize resources across a flatter organization structure. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Juan Kiat, Lisa, and Kathleen. Wow, I hear the word flat organization, inverted donut, breakfast and learn. I'm actually hungry now. So well, these are indeed interesting key points. Let me just share with you a screen grab, okay, from our corporate video. Okay, this area is what we call the spaceship. It is at our HQ at City Hall. Here in Philip, our very open concept seating arrangement allows us, right, as a staff, to engage our colleagues across departments. Yeah, we don't here in this spaceship, we don't, oh, this department sit in this corner, that department sit in that corner. So it's very, very open interaction, right? Even the senior managers, the management are seated amongst us for very inclusive, open communication. Okay, now let's move on to the next topic, high tech and high touch. How do we embrace that in our customers' journey? Very much so in PhilipCapital, we embrace this as really part of our DNA. Perhaps let's hear from, maybe this time, ladies first, to share about high tech and high touch in PhilipCapital.
Before I go on, there is a chat. I think it's under chat. Rahul is asking about career roles. And okay, just to demonstrate, Rahul, we are a very open organization. Please write to Juan Kiat directly. He will consider. I presume you are looking at more fintech related role. So right, Juan Kiat, you can, Rahul, maybe you can follow up with Juan Kiat directly. I don't know how it works. Maybe we can follow up from there on. Okay, Rahul, I hope definitely happy to chat, because I think in Philip, I also want to reiterate that we always want to come with an open mind, always open. So that means always be a block thinker rather than a dot thinker, always increase our perspective. Okay, I'll go back to this second notes or guiding principle on how do we embrace high tech and high touch in our customer journey. Obviously, Juan Kiat will talk about the high tech side. I'm more on the high touch side, I have to admit. So that's why I need to rely on Juan Kiat and our IT side really to help us to build the customer journey or to guide Philip along the way. So again, one very famous Philip DNA, there's always this statement: it is not either or, it is and. So that's why tech and touch for us, it has to come together. And for me, or for the management, it comes from the fact that human being in general is a social creature. Even in this COVID, we have read enough, even with digital gadget. Of course, that helps a lot, right? In engaging Zoom, online account opening, or whatever you call it, online engagement. But very often we also reflect upon the touch, right? So the touch will have to come with the tech, or the tech will have to come with the touch. So I guess just now Lini talked about omni-channel. Yes, for us, all channels are good. and as many channels as possible we should provide to customer, because in the end customer will dictate how would he or she likes to be engaged with us. And it can come from multiple sources, right? It can talk to a human, then after that maybe call up the call center to verify information, then probably after that go on to the internet to trade, for example. That's perfectly fine with us. So for us, it's really the engagement. And just want to, and I want to reiterate another thing again. Sometimes when we take the tag in a very, what I call that, intense format, we sometimes very much forget about the touch. Why I say that is this. For example, for our call center, I tell the staff, do not ask customer or prospect to click more than 3 buttons to reach us. I don't know how many of you have faced it. It's not just financial industry, includes telco, whatever. Sometimes you talk to the automated machine until you want to vomit blood, because there are so many buttons you need to handle that you've forgotten what button you should press. And it was so hard to even reach to a human being, whether it's through phone or even through face-to-face. So we make sure that our call center is reachable, our chatbot is easy, there's always a connect, to the live agent. And really, if you cannot find any one of them, at least you can walk to our branches or call out our financial advisor or stockbrokers to talk to them. So that is our approach. So for us, is really provide the different avenue, is for the customer to choose at their own convenience and their own comfort level. Yep. So that's from my perspective, Hong Kiet.
Okay, the high tech, definitely high tech is important. However, innovation is just not about building a better mousetrap. So we got to remind ourselves that brokerage is also a relationship business. Actually, pretty much, right? We know of people who trades that wants to talk to their broker. The broker plays an important role in their investment journey. So we actively look at the customer journey within our product. So we are doing a revamp on the Poems app, and we actually look at at which point does the customer wants to engage with the broker, or there must be an outlet for a customer to say, I want to speak to the broker assigned to me for Philip Security. And this is to us very, very important, because we think that creates opportunity and help us create the so-called the competitiveness against the newer broker who are very technology focused. So I saw a couple of questions. So I'd like to answer a few questions over here. I think with Tiger and Fudu coming on board aggressively, I think that's a question, right? Such development, of course, I think that is good for the investors. So the investors got choice, definitely. So we will never say that, oh, investor got to come with Philip, right? However, we endeavor to give the best kind of service, not only providing, we're going to have a new app, providing the best app, the best charting, but we also say that, tell our broker that, look, we got to engage them through technology in a more effective manner with our clients. And that to us is extremely important, the so-called customer experience. And in fact, within the Poems product team, we actually created a role called the Customer Experience Manager, which look at the entire customer journey and chart out which one is good, which one is bad. That's just like what Lisa is just saying, right? So we are trying to quantify the customer experience within this journey, and hopefully using technology and our big team of broker, we can make the customer investment experience as good as possible. Okay, maybe to you, Kathleen.
Thanks, Hong Kiet. I think embracing high tech and high touch is really not just for customers. It is very much for our employees as well. Our employees are our own people, and it is important that we are able to embrace the high tech and high touch as well. So to support high tech, it's great that even prior to the pandemic, we have already progressively gone paperless over the last 3 years. And this has really helped us to cope with pandemic challenges. I think this is a time that we really need to see the digital capabilities, and ensuring that our processes are paperless, not just internally, but also externally for our clients as well. Then at the same time, we continue to engage our new hires and also our existing staff virtually through Teams, through MS Teams, Zoom, MS Teams, and what have you. And basically, we very much encourage our people managers to do the same, to engage their teams regularly online. This is important to ensure a smoother onboarding process and also continuous engagement for our staff, especially in a time when work from home is the default work arrangement. In preparation for the new normal, we believe that the hybrid work arrangements will offer more flexibility and also help us to balance both the high tech and high touch in engaging our people. So we also want to provide the assurance that we support the hybrid work arrangements and we'll see how to offer such flexibility for optimal engagement with the different teams, whether on site or those working from home. Yeah. Thanks. Over to you, Ling.
All right.
Can we take on this question? This one, I guess Huang Kiat can contribute more than me. How do you see the future of banks or financial institutions or traders, whatever, moving forward with blockchain technology in finance industry? So again, I declare, I am an IT nerd, but I do my part. I finished a short course on blockchain and read 1-2 books about blockchain. I thought, in my view, from the business side, blockchain technology is supposed to have this trust, right, within the system. Huang Kiat, am I right? So the question is, if there are processes that you don't need the human to be involved and you can just have a trust in the whole delivery system, for example, whether it's reconciliation of funds or units or whatever, then the blockchain is able to perform that job. Then it goes back to, then where is the value of human beings? So what I'm trying to say is that whatever disruption, whatever technology advancement, sure, it will disrupt the current, whatever structure or flow. The question is then, how do we adapt to that flow and even to embrace it and transform ourselves? Okay, if I were to say that way from a business angle, like for example, as a sales agent, I would say before technology, almost A to Z, everything is manual or whatever. But now can you imagine if IT can help, let's say, for example, even the salespeople to solve many of their operation pain points. And I would see even some top salespeople, they have become like a KOL. It's so amazing, you know, like traders or brokers. Instead of a telephone operator, if I had to put it crudely, taking orders and whatever, all this can be done through the internet and operationally can be solved through all the IT solutioning. Then what their value is really the thought process, right? So thought leaders, right? A key opinion leaders. And that's how they're able to do the engagement. So the point I'm trying to make is that I don't think everything can be taken over by internet. Again, it's the end concept, touch and the tech. Yeah, Huang Kiat, you got anything to add on that?
Okay, I think that's also, maybe I'm jumping the gun. That's also one reason that I think I love the project I'm working on in Philip, in the distributed ledger technology. I think one thing that a lot of people forget is that the distribution itself cannot be built by pure technology alone. So for example, yes, technology is going to help leverage. There's a leverage component there. Technology will help it to do faster, easier. But it's interesting to see some of this technology still depends on, will gain the biggest impact if you have the right distribution. So Philip has the right distribution, large enough distribution for technology to make a actually significant impact. So what is the big difference blockchain technology or distributed ledger technology is going to make? I think it's a disruption on, like what Lisa I just said, right? In the how investment product flows, okay? But to the end point, right, which is what Philip Security is doing, which is distribution out to people. Actually, I think it will never get away from the high-tech, high-touch component, where touch is still important when people want to interact. If you look at currently, very hot topic, right, NFT, non-fungible tokens, right, and you look at some of the current crypto trading, right, actually, if you look and you be involved, which I am for studies, right, is that one thing they are very good in is to build community. So the high touch part never goes away. The high touch part is where you get to get the distribution, where you get to sell the product. So that is central to what we are trying to do in Philip as well. Right. So what I'm trying to get to is that who are we looking for? I think that's the end result, right? We are looking for people, not only on tech people. If I'm a fintech director, I'm an IT director, of course I say programmer. But programmer itself is not going to make this company, right? You still need people who can talk to customer and make people understand what technology bring for them, what technology can do for them, right? That's why this two kind of people we are looking for actually. Okay, back to.
I'm going to say something that maybe Caitlin will not endorse as a HR person, right? So Funke was trying to say, who are we looking for? I always point me back to this one of the Hitler's famous quote. If you do not like the rule, follow the rule until you reach the top, you change the rule. So from an entrepreneur spirit, I will look at Philip will be very exciting for people who really would like to have this inquisitive mind to explore, try out new things, and not afraid to take charge, not afraid to challenge, but of course you must have substance and you challenge. Then we always encourage you, once you reach a certain level, go and change the rule. I don't know, Caitlin, you got anything to add?
Well, I think we are a progressive organization, and we are prepared I think it's important to work based on principles and values. But when it comes to style, when it comes to how we attract the millennials or even the mid career switchers and all that, I think we can differ in many ways. I like to encourage all those who are returning to the workforce. I know that there are some who are looking for opportunities to return to the workforce and those looking for mid-career switches. The PhilipCapital is very open to consider anyone with transferable skill sets and competencies. And we would like to welcome you to find out the opportunities that are available. Okay, we know that it is tough out there, but there are opportunities that you can always explore over here. I myself joined Philip after a 1 year sabbatical, and I was glad that my boss back then did not hesitate to hire me based on transferable skill sets and competencies. Okay, I know that we have come to the end of the session. So yes, Lini, any final comment before we pass it back?
Wow, very insightful sharing. Actually, by right, you all should give me 3 reasons why I should join PhilipCapital, but we are really running short of time. Maybe I can just invite every speaker to just give me one concluding sentence, and I think we have to hand this speaking slot over to the next speaker.
They can find us at our career booth, is it?
Yes, they can. We have our PhilipCapital booth. They can proceed to ask questions there. We have our colleagues manning the booth. So concluding remarks from all 3 of you.
Okay, I can start first. 3 reasons why you should join. I just give you one. The ability,
yes.
Yeah, the ability to do things that we value, passionate about, and there's a longer runway, and most importantly, we give longer runway for people to build the clock rather than telling the time. And I guess the reason is also because we are privately owned. That must be the reason. I mean, we are not pressurized by the accountability on results, quarterly results, and shareholders accountability and things like that. So that's yeah, what I have. Okay, Funke.
Right, for me, it's a flat organization in that I can come up with my own objective and key result as long as it meet company objectives as well.
Okay, and one of the things I like to add on is we encourage job rotations after 2 years in the company. Okay, there are many opportunities that we can explore within an organization. And in fact, we not only approve, but we actually encourage and endorse job rotations regularly. Yes, back to you, Florence. Yeah.
Thank you so much, speakers. For those of you who still have burning questions for PhilipCapital, please scan this QR code, log into the IVF VCF, the Virtual Career Fair, and visit the PhilipCapital virtual booth in the hiring zone, where you'll be able to talk directly to Lisa and her team and ask all your questions. So thank you so much once again, Lisa and team, for your insightful sharing. Our next session will be with Citibank, and we'll end this session so that we can start the next one. So thank you once again for
Thank
joining
you
us.
very
We'll see you
much.
back shortly.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.